Hey, you crazy cats! 42's live streams and videos are simply not available on vinyl. You will have to go to the YouTubes for that. So if you want content about British traditions and culture, cutting-edge social commentary from an unapologetically patriotic perspective, along with a side order of madness you simply will not find anywhere else, then this is the place for you. And to all those early adapters in the chat, don't forget to hit the notification bell. That's how you get the good stuff, and make sure you never miss a tasty treat. So with that being said and done, squeeze yourself in. Let's get into it. You know you want to. Good afternoon, good morning, good evening. Please start again. Good afternoon, good morning, good evening. Please do as applicable because the internet is worldwide and time zones are still a thing. And I'm blaming StreamYard for being weird for why I messed up the actual fucking intro. Okay. But with that being said and done, can I get a wee audio check in the chat? And I will say some hellos. Mr. Budgie Burger, I hope Linda Hunter turns up because she is fucking cool. I can agree with that. I'm also going to say I think you might have noticed her name is in the chat before you typed that. But Linda Hunter is indeed here from Down Under. Welcome aboard. Captain Packer is in. What about you, chum? Welcome aboard. Rich, I sent you an email last night, but I was drunk and very tired. If it didn't make sense, expect a longer one that actually does make sense. But there you go. The wonderful, the amazing, the sexy Emma G is in. Even hope everything's all well with you and your night is not as bad as might be. Emma G's working tonight, by the way. Thanks, Rich. Audio proper strong one. And Ether Elephant, welcome aboard. Yeah, it is what it is, Rich. I wanted to send you something, but I was also very drunk and very tired, so it wasn't my normal quality. But I hope it made some form of sense. And with that, with no further ado, I will get on with my shout-outs, and the first one will indeed be this man here, RPW Media, who does a live stream every Friday night at 11 o'clock British summertime. If you want to know anything about American politics and what's going on over there and all the shenanigans with the government, Rich is your man. He will keep you up to date, and he also has a website which is a really good resource with lots of articles going back over time. So if you want to do some reading up, or there's something you want to figure out about, either go through his website, or even indeed, he'll probably have a video on it because the man's fucking prolific. Just go on his search and see if you can find it. And yeah, that's what I was going to say. Yeah, it made sense. Right. Okay, we're all good. Anglo-Saxon, evening, brother. Welcome aboard. Thank you for coming along. And thank you for your wee quick email. The other day I will get a reply off you. Look, I'm all over the place tonight at the moment for some reason. Audio proper strong one. Yes, Budgie Burger. And Emma G with the Aborigine. It's all very good. Let's see. Next shout out would be Courage is the Cure, Australian girl called Robin, who will keep you up to date with everything political and what's happening with the current tyrannical governments that we have. And she's coming out of Australia, so you're getting the other hemisphere's perspective and what all's going on. And whenever you actually read it, whenever you watch from what's going on in 3 different continents, you get a better understanding of how global all our problems are. However, while what that means is we do not need a global reaction. What we need is lots of local reactions against the global, because every community is different and every community needs to fight this in their own way. There is no set right or wrong way, and the answer to globalist takeover cannot be a globalist fight back. It's going to have to be regionalized, and we're going to have to take them on in different ways in different places. And whenever I say take them on, I mean legally, through the courts, through lobbying, through all of that good stuff, through your local council, through your member of parliament, and holding them accountable to make them do what's best for the local community. That's the way to fight this. Try to do it any other way. All you're going to do is get all your best people put in jail, and that is never good for any form of opposition. Budgie Burger, your way is comedy. So there's that. Other shout outs. Let me think. Still thinking. Anything else I need to give a shout out for? Yes. I'm a lunatic. How could I forget? The one, the only, the wonderful, the Dave Waffle House, home of the Friday night duck race. There are many, many ways that you can get ducks to become involved in the duck race. Yes, the Waffle Man. You can use the free route to entry by commenting under any video, and you will indeed receive ducks. You can be first to say 420. You can get the name of the song or the singer first. All these things will get you free ducks, or you can indeed buy ducks with super chats, or indeed gift ducks to other people with super chats. There's a whole ducking economy going on there, and it's a really good community. Get yourself over there, Dave Waffle House, every weeknight, 8:30. Jump in the chat. Let's see. Have I anything else to give a shout out to? I think that's about it for this evening. That's all the shout outs done. Unfortunately, Budgie, if it was up to me, I would have you in there. Unfortunately, I don't get to choose the ruler of the universe. And while 42 may indeed be the answer to life, the universe, and everything, that answer makes fuck all sense until you find out what the actual question, the ultimate question to life, the universe, and everything is, which turned out to be 6 times 7. Not 7 times 6, because 7 times 6 is wrong, just wrong. Yes, and you can indeed win some of the worst prizes on the internet, including the liquid ass. Right. Nah. Dilemma. Yeah, I'm going to push on and go straight to the Royal Chelsea Hospital stuff. Oh, hold on. Special K and Acid has come in. Welcome aboard, chump. Thank you very much for coming along. And Amanda Lee has arrived in too. Welcome aboard. Thank you very much for coming. And need some liquid. I'm drinking my tea from my trophy right now. Grandma Tyler's English breakfast. Hello, 42 in chat. Nice one, Linda. What I will say is, I am absolutely delighted to have you people come here and listen to me ramble on every Saturday night, and have been doing so for like 3 years. I find that quite fascinating and amazing, and I really enjoy doing this, and thank you all so much for being part of that. And I do think we'll have a nice community and a nice friendly chat here, which is always great. Right, now with that, I think I shall get on with the Chelsea pensioners. And the reason why we're doing it today, we will start with the Founders Day. And this is coming from the home of the Chelsea pensioners. It's their own official one. I would need to look up exactly how long it is, but it's definitely more than 2. It's definitely more than 2. I suspect it's somewhere coming up close to 3 or just past 3. Yep, right. So Chelsea pensioners coming from, yeah, it is. It's about now. Yeah. It's about. The other thing is, Emma G has put up with me doing live streams every Saturday night for 3 years now. And it seems quite strange that, because most ladies would expect their partner to want to be with them on a Saturday night. And Emma has been very, very supportive about all of that. And I need to acknowledge that and let us all know that, yeah, none of this would have been possible without the support of the wonderful Emma G. I'm going to stop digging and throw away the shovel. Because Emma G is being a hoot at the minute. And I'm not going to fall into any traps. Right. Share screen. Chelsea pensioners, the traditions and why we're doing it at this time of the year. Yep. Bradley, you in there, chum? What about you, chum? Brad, welcome aboard. Thanks for coming along. Right. Before I get too carried away, Chelsea pensioners, and we will scroll this up. A Founders Day, and I want to have a look because I think this may need a zoomage. It will. Zoom in. Yeah, it needs another one. Okay. Founders Day is the pinnacle of the Royal Hospital Chelsea's calendar, where all the Chelsea pensioners gather to honour the founding of the Royal Hospital by King Charles II. This cherished tradition has been celebrated almost every year since the hospital opened in 1692, reflecting the enduring spirit of our community. Please note, attendance at Founders Day is by invitation only. Yeah. Known as Oak Apple Day, which we have talked about on the stream before, Founders Day is held on a date near the 29th of May, marking both the birthday of King Charles II and the anniversary of his restoration to the throne in 1660. Why I do it at this time of the year is at the end of the month, obviously we have the end of the month show, and I don't do the traditional stuff from that day, obviously that week, obviously. So I've been doing this for 3 years, and it's time to get into all the stuff that we have missed and not properly covered. So that's why we're doing it now. So I'm just going to check the streaming yard, the chat. Giolingo, welcome aboard. Thank you very much for coming along. If you somehow found your way in here and are new, don't forget to hit the subscribe, and you may or may not get a notification. We do this madness every Saturday night, and we talk about British traditions, histories, and culture. The day's events are rooted in history. After the Battle of Worcester in 1651, the future King Charles II famously hid in an oak tree to escape capture. To honour this, Chelsea pensioners proudly wore oak leaves on their iconic scarlet uniforms during the ceremony. In Figure Court, the gold statue of Charles II is also adorned with oak leaves. Over the years, the decoration has varied from a simple wreath to a full covering that almost conceals the statue. Each year, the statue is dressed in new, symbolising both tradition and renewal, which comes into all of our other yearly events, particularly the ones in spring and the harvest festivals. They're all about ending this year's cycle, starting the next one, and being on a continuum. In the same way that you need to understand our history on a continuum, try to figure out the chronological order, and then all the events such as the king hiding in the oak tree begin to make sense. A member of the royal family graces the ceremony annually, underscoring the event's significance. Her late Majesty Queen Elizabeth II reviewed the parade 4 times during her reign. Even if you're Chelsea pensioners, you don't always get access to the King or Queen. The official visitors book is specially prepared with the royal coat of arms ready for the attending royal to sign, adding to the day's historic importance. So they obviously keep a list of who all's been there. This much loved occasion has taken place for over 80 years. Held in the Great Hall, the festive occasion begins with the Royal Hospital Band performing live. Oh, that's a Christmas pudding tradition. We have now got to the end of what the Chelsea pensioners officially are telling us about how the hospital was formed and its Founders' Day and all of that. And I will say that it's not brilliant. And part of why our history is possible to be changed and whatnot, because even whenever you go to the official source, you're not necessarily getting a lot of information. Yeah, pudding. Who was calling your Christmas pudding? I hope I didn't by mistake. Right, so we will have a little look at the history. And this is from Chelsea Barracks. So the building that it's showed in, we will see what it's saying about that history. And I will be adding other my thoughts to this at some stage about how this came to be and all of that. Oh, and a little bit of Kipling, Anglo, you'll be salivating. I had forgot they had that on the fucking stage. Going to zoom that in, and I'm going to zoom that in again, and I think that should be fine. The Royal Hospital Chelsea stands as a magnificent cornerstone of British military heritage, a testament to enduring honour and tradition since its founding in the late 17th century. For centuries, this iconic institution has served as a distinguished home for retired soldiers, famously known as Chelsea pensioners, whose scarlet coats are a living symbol of national pride. Its architectural grandeur, including the Wren Chapel and the Great Hall, speaks up to a rich legacy. As a proud neighbour, Chelsea Barracks offers modern living amidst centuries of profound history, inviting residents to connect with the unique tapestry of British heritage. So, 1682, it was founded by King Charles II to care for veterans. Uh, just to give you a little bit of food for thought, it's currently 2026. Our concern for what happens to soldiers when they come back from battle, missing either a part of their body or a part of their mind, is nothing new. To the point where in 1682, we created this hospital, which not only works as a hospital, but also the pension. Well, the military pension was first distributed via this place, and then it was formalized and spread out to more and more former servicemen. And yes, I did say servicemen, because there weren't no women charging in the charge of Light Brigade. There weren't no women at Waterloo. And this is the area that this was built in. So, anybody wants to think, what about the female soldiers? Yeah, females who serve now. Yeah, fine. They get the pension same as everybody else. But they missed this bit where they could come back without an arm with fuck all pension. 1692, first Chelsea pensioners admitted, so it took them 10 years to build it. 17th to 1800s, expansion of the building and grounds. 1960s, listed as Grade 1 historic building, which means that thing is staying. Home to over 300 retired soldiers and a living part of London's heritage. And with that, I want to check the chat. Yep, all fine. The Royal Hospital Chelsea was established in 1682 by King Charles II, driven by a vision to provide a dignified retirement home for veteran soldiers. Inspired by similar institutions in France, the king sought to create a sanctuary where those who had served the crown could live out their days with respect and comfort. The esteemed Sir Christopher Wren, one of Britain's most celebrated architects, was entrusted with the design of this ambitious project. So they didn't just grab anybody. They didn't just go, right, we've got a corps of engineers, get them to knock something up here. They brought in fucking Christopher Wren to make it good. His vision extended beyond mere residence. It was a symbol of national gratitude, honouring the profound service and sacrifice of the nation's military personnel, reflecting a deep sense of royal and civic responsibility. That's a beautiful building. Sir Christopher Wren's architectural genius was displayed throughout the Royal Hospital, Chelsea. His design blends functionality with splendour, creating a purpose-built environment that provides dignity and respect for its residents. Key features include the expansive central court, flanked by the Wren Chapel and the Great Hall, both adorned with intricate details that speak to Wren's brass mastery. The iconic red brick facade, a hallmark of his style, contributes to the hospital's enduring elegance. The meticulously landscaped gardens and symbolic layout of the buildings further underscore a sense of military discipline and royal patronage, creating a unique and historic setting. It's like you're bringing these men back to a very nice barracks uh, without all of the shouting and having to fight a battle at the end of the day, which is good. Facade. Billy Blogs, welcome aboard, chum. Thanks for coming. Yeah, he did. Facade. Facade. Yeah, Billy, his fucking Belfast accent's not the best for this stuff. No. At the heart of the Royal Hospital Chelsea are the Chelsea pensioners, the revered retired British Army veterans who call this historic institution home. Founded to offer shelter and dignity, the hospital has ensured that those brave individuals are cared for in their later years. Recognizable, recognizable globally by their iconic scarlet coats, the pensioners' embroidery, um, the pensioners embody British history and pride. Their daily life within the hospital is rich with camaraderie, and they are renowned across the UK for participation in important ceremonial events such as the Remembrance Sunday and Founders Day. Uh, I do like seeing them marching in on the Remembrance Day event, the Albert Hall, is it? I'm not 100% sure. Uh, and seeing all the poppies coming down. The other thing I used to, oh, right, I'm not going to get into that. I'm not going to derail it with, yeah, no. The Chelsea pensioners' presence ensures the hospital is not merely a collection of historic buildings, but a vibrant, living community. Today, the Royal Hospital Chelsea continues its vital role as a working retirement and care home, providing a supportive community for around 300 Chelsea pensioners. Beyond this primary function, it stands as a significant cultural landmark, drawing visitors from around the world. Guests can explore various parts of the hospital, including the magnificent chapel and engaging Chelsea Pensioners Museum and the beautifully maintained architecture and grounds. Its proximity to the RHS Chelsea Royal Horticultural Society Chelsea Flower Show also means the Chelsea pensioners can showcase their garden design entry at the globally renowned horticultural event. This further cements the Royal Hospital's place as a destination of heritage, beauty, and quiet prestige, perfectly reflecting on the values and refined living offered at Chelsea Barracks. It's actually quite nice to think about those men that have. I'm guessing they're going to be pretty picky about who you can get in there, and you must have served a certain amount of years and whatnot. But them out there together, living out their days, footering about in the garden and getting in that competition. Yeah, I like that thought. The frequently asked questions. The Royal Hospital Chelsea was founded in 1682 by King Charles II as a retirement home for veteran soldiers. Designed by Sir Christopher Wren, it has continually served the purpose for over 3 centuries, evolving into a symbol of national honour and care of British military personnel. We're probably going to have read all this before, so forgive me if I'm whistling through it. What is the Chelsea Pensioners Museum? The Chelsea Pensioners Museum is located within the Royal Hospital Chelsea and offers visitors insights to the history of the hospital and the lives of Chelsea pensioners. It showcases artifacts and stories related to British military heritage and the institution's legacy. If I'm ever in London, that's one of the things that I will actually attempt to go and see, because there's only so many times you can walk around the HMS Belfast. Granted, I did write a poem about the HMS Belfast. Don't think I'll write one about the Chelsea Pensioners Museum, but who knows? But yeah, it would give me something different today. The Chelsea pensioners are retired British Army soldiers who reside at Royal Hospital Chelsea, recognisable by their distinctive scarlet coats and are a living symbol of national pride and military service. Participating in various public and ceremonial events, the Royal Hospital serves as a retirement and care home, providing a supportive community and a dignified environment. Yes, we had heard all of that before. Right, we're going to take that away. Sausages. Do you remember that dog on Esther Ransom? That's Life. Let's say it's sausages. Yeah, that was fun. Right. We're going to have a quick, not a musical interlude, a quick poetic interlude. Because we've been talking about this retirement home and the lives of ex-British soldiers. And we're going to be coming on to this the last of we're going to be coming on to how these all came to be, and here's one of the reasons. The Forerunner, this was a little bit earlier, but it definitely had it started off this notion of providing permanent support for veterans. So we will have a little listen to this. Angle will be pleased. It's a bit of Kipling. Always good. Where the fuck? StreamYard. Share screen. That's the one I wanted. Share screen.
The Last of the Light Brigade by Rudyard Kipling. There were 30 million English who talked of England's might. There were 20 broken troopers who lacked a bed for the night. They had neither food nor money. They had neither service nor trade. They were only shiftless soldiers, the last of the Light Brigade. They felt that life was fleeting. They knew not that art was long, that though they were dying of famine, they lived in deathless song. They asked for a little money to keep the wolf from the door, and the 30 million English sent 20 pounds and 4. They laid their heads together that were scarred and lined and grey, keen were the Russian sabres, but want was keener than they. And an old troop sergeant muttered, "Let us go to the man who writes the things on balaclava the kiddies at school recites." They went without bands or colors, a regiment 10 files strong, to look for the master singer who had crowned them all in his song. And, waiting his servant's order, by the garden gate they stayed, a desolate little cluster, the last of the Light Brigade. They strove to stand to attention, to straighten the toil-bowed back. They drilled on an empty stomach, the loose-knit files fell slack. With stooping of weary shoulders, in garments tattered and frayed, they shambled into his presence, the the last of the Light Brigade. The old troop sergeant was spokesman, and, begging your pardon, he said, "You wrote to the Light Brigade, sir. Here's all that isn't dead. And it's all come true what you wrote, sir, regarding the mouth of hell. For all of us nigh to the workhorse, and we thought we'd call and tell. No, thank you, we don't want food, sir. But couldn't you take and write a sort of to be continued and see next page o'er the fight? We think that someone has blundered, and couldn't you tell him how? You wrote we were heroes once, sir. Please, write we are starving now." The poor little army departed, limping and lean and forlorn, and the heart of the master singer grew hot with the scorn of scorn. And he wrote for them wonderful verses that swept the land like flame, till the fatted souls of the English were scourged with the thing called shame. They sent a check to the felon that sprang from an Irish bog. They healed the spavined cab horse, they housed the homeless dog. And they sent, you may call me a liar, when felon and beast were paid, a check for enough to live on, to the last of the Light Brigade. Oh, 30 million English, that babble of England's might. Behold, there are 20 heroes who lack their food tonight. Our children's children are lisping to honor the charge they made. And we leave to the streets and the workhorse the charge of the Light Brigade.
Yeah. Oh, not only was his only son killed there, he was getting a lot of grief because his son had failed the medical and couldn't get into the army. And Kipling pulled a lot of strings to get him in. And then he got killed. He was, after about the second battle. Yeah. See, that came out, that predates his Chelsea pensioners, and we're going to come back to this. But what I will, yep, like, it's recent. His body was discovered at Antietam. We're still at Antietam bodies from World War One. But what I wanted to impress upon you is this is not new. Billy, are you pissed? Yeah. But Angle, he pulled a lot of strings to get his son in because it was embarrassing him. Kipling himself served, which hence why all the army poetry. But this thing about there not being appropriate care for our veterans, this is not new. You're trying to speak Belfast. You're overdoing it, chum. See, it's 90% English with a few Belfast words sprinkled in. And then the other thing that gets you is what we'll do is we'll speed everything the way to fuck up and we'll talk like this. And it begins to sound like a different language unless you're tuned into it. So you're trying too hard. Yep. So I know you are. Money yanking your chain. Don't worry about it, chum. It's all good. Now I figured it out. These fears are not new and these problems are not new, and they're not going to go away. We will come back on the repercussions of that poem by Kipling. But what I will say is the guy that wrote The Charge of the Light Brigade did not write another fucking word about it. So Kipling got that poem. So Kipling wrote that poem and had it printed in a gazette. I can't remember off the top of my head the name of the paper, but that did cause a pool of money to be collected for the last of the Light Brigade, some of whom, as the poem's true, some of a chunk of them were in the workhouse, which was not uncommon. In Belfast workhouse, Emma and I visited that a while ago, purely for historical reasons. But there's one of their members was at the Charge Light Brigade, and one of his there was a painting of the charge in the workhouse, and he used to like sitting on the bench beneath the picture. So Scundered Scottish. Scundered is an Ulster Scots word meaning very highly embarrassed. Billy, do you remember the club saying, how tall speak Ulster? I joined the army to see the world in search of fame and glory. Right, we're getting way fucking sidetracked. Yes, oh for fuck's sake, Scundered, that's it. Right. Back to about the Chelsea pensioner. We'll do about what? Actually, we're going to do a fucking music on their life. Reset. I think we will have. This is coming up, so we will see. But it's by the Dreadnoughts, and the Dreadnoughts are good, so we're willing to take a chance to roll the dice. I get to be as surprised by what comes on here tonight as you do. It's called The Cruel Wars. It's actually quite fitting. Here we go. That's great. Cripes. I've been scundered. Oh. Yep. Yeah. Oh, no, it wasn't you. I did it to myself. Yeah, scundered. Highly embarrassed. Rare to have. I was going to say, like, somebody come pull the skin of your rice pudding. Yep, you're half cut. Yeah, which means almost drunk. Actually, generally speaking, half cut means you're already pissed, but you're not admitting it yet. It's normally used as an excuse for whenever you've done something egregious, done something stupid, and you went, oh fuck, I was half cut at the time. Give me a break. Right. Share screen, and we are going to have The Cruel Wars by the Dreadnoughts.
A recruiting sergeant came away from an inn near town at the close of day. He said, my Johnny, you're a fine young man. Would you like to march along behind a military band with a scarlet coat and a fine cocked hat and a musket at your shoulder? The shilling he took and he kissed the book. Oh, poor Johnny, what'll happen to ya? The recruiting sergeant marched away from the inn near town at the break of day. Johnny came to with half a ring. He was off to be a soldier to go fighting for the king in a far-off war in a far-off land to face the foreign soldier. But how will you fare when there's lead in the air? Oh, poor Johnny, what'll happen to ya? Well, the sun rose high on a barren land where the thin red line made a military stand. There was slingshot, chain shot, grape shot too, swords and bayonets thrusting through. Poor Johnny fell, but the day was won, and the king is grateful to ya. But your soldier is done and they're sending you home. Oh, poor Johnny, what'll happen to ya? They said he was a hero and not to grieve for the 2 ruined legs and the empty sleeve. Took him home and they set him down with a military pension and a medal from the crown. But you haven't an arm, you haven't a leg, the enemy nearly slew ya. You'll have to go out in the streets and beg, oh poor Johnny, what'll happen to ya? A recruiting sergeant came away from the inn near town at the close of day. He said, my Johnny, you're a fine young man. Would you like to march along behind a military band with a scarlet coat and a fine cocked hat and a musket at your shoulder? The shelling he took and he kissed the book. Oh, poor Johnny, what'll happen to ya? Oh, Polly, love, oh, Polly, the rout has now begun, and we must go a-marching to the beating of a drum. Come dress yourself all in your best and come along with me. I'll take you to the cruel wars in High Germany. Oh, Harry, dearest Harry, mind well what I do say. My feet, they are so tender, and I cannot march away. Besides, my dearest Harry, I am with child by thee, not fitted for the cruel wars in High Germany. I'll buy you a horse, my love, and on it you shall ride, and all of my delight shall be walking at your side. We'll stop at every alehouse and drink when we are dry. Be true to one another, get married by and by. Oh, cursed be the cruel wars that ever they should rise, and out of merry England press many a man likewise. They took her Harry from her, likewise her brothers 3, and sent them to the cruel wars in High Germany.
All right, that was actually very fitting for tonight's stream. Okay, right, let's do this. Whenever somebody says you're a rocket, it does not mean you're drunk. It means that you are unpredictable, funny, and a little bit mad. 3 sheets to the wind means drunk. Drunk means drunk. Pissed means drunk. Banjaxed, polaxed, blutered, blattered, half cut, fucked, under the affluence of alcohol, troubles with the falling down water. Yep. What you can tell about a community is how many descriptive words they have for a activity, and being drunk is an activity, is reflective on how often you partake in that activity and how often the community partakes in that activity. And yeah, it may be in Australia. It probably is in Australia. Oh, well, pissed means drunk. Pissed does not mean angry. Trolleyed, yes. Right, Lufer, I'm screenshotting that one. I will attempt to get that at some stage this evening before going home. Did you see you did see the Belling Gate? Oh yeah, he's a fucking absolute rocket. See, right, he's a rocket, he's an absolute rocket, a fucking absolute rocket, are 3 different stages. The fucking absolute rocket is a fucking absolute rocket. You have no idea what the fuck is going to happen with this person about you. So yeah, we have a lot of words for drunk people or being drunk because we do it quite a lot. It's pretty much the basis of how we do things. Anyway, we're going to do a bit about the bombing of the Royal Hospital during the Blitz, because Wasn't enough that these men fought the First World War and ended up in the retirement hospital. Yeah, they fucking bombed it. Shit faced, yes. Who calls you a fucking absolute rocket? A fucking rocket, yeah. Oh, it's a term of endearment, Billy. Yeah, it's a term of endearment. Please be advised, if people don't like you, they're not calling you a rocket. They're calling you something very different. Command and 4, and then I can select the actual section I want to screenshot on my Mac. I use a Mac for all of this stuff. It's much easier than Windows, I believe. 1 second, because I need to cough. Right. The hospital during the Blitz. Let's get this done. No bags have been packed. Share screen. Sharing the screen. The bombing of the Royal Hospital. And I am going to zoom that in preemptively. This is, I might, depending on how much of this we've already heard. Oh yeah, a MacBook. Now, I do not have an iPhone. I would never have an iPhone. I don't like them. But honestly, see if you're going to make videos or stream or do something like that, get yourself a MacBook Air. It makes things so much easier. No explosives on me. Oh, fuck. Yeah, it's still not zoomed in enough for my leggings. Right, we're going with this. The bombing of the Royal Hospital is Soane Infirmary during the Blitz. Founded by Charles II, the Royal Hospital of Chelsea first opened its doors in 1692 as a home for retired soldiers broken by age or war. So, if you're in the army long enough, you will become broken. That is just how it works. It takes fit and healthy people and it breaks them sooner or later. And if you are, as the Dreadnought song said, hit by a cannon or something and lose a couple of legs, that's going to happen quicker, sooner rather than later. The use of the word hospital in the title is based on the notion of hospitality, and the institution is modelled upon the aptly named Hotel des Invalides in Paris, opened in 1670 by Louis the Ninth, I think. I'm not as good at Roman numerals as some may think. No, 14th. Louis the 14th, sorry, I got there. Buildings designed by Christopher Wren, including an on-site infirmary, and provided day-to-day routine medical services in a similar way to that of GP surgery, while also providing acute end-of-life hospice care to Chelsea pensioner community before they embarked on their euphemism for a final posting. Unfortunately, Wren's infirmary, like much of the Royal Hospital, was quickly found to be too small for the role envisaged for it, but it was not until the appointment of Sir John Sloane as Clerk of Works in 1807 that anything was done to address the subscale nature of the Royal Hospital's infirmary provision. To be clear, there is no way with an institution the size of the British Army that you're going to be able to put all of your veterans in one place. It's just not going to happen. Sloane was commissioned to build a new infirmary as part of the more general redevelopment of the western edge of the Royal Hospital estate, with Sloane buildings, including a new stable yard built on the site of Wren's original stable yard, a workshop or artisan's yard, was also included in the redevelopment. On the site of the coal yard, with the workshop built around a slight hollow in the ground, this localised geographical feature would play an important part during the London Blitz. In 1938, as war clouds once again formed over Europe, plans were agreed for evacuating the whole establishment of around 500 Chelsea pensioners. So it had 500 pensioners then, and it's currently down to 300. Looks like all of the army's shrinking, even the provision for veterans. To a place of safety outside London in the event of an emergency. Unfortunately, a combination of toxic politics and complex logistics meant these plans were never implemented. The commissioners did, however, agree the terms of a private arrangement with retired Army officer Major Walter Moorland for around 50 patients from the Sloane Infirmary to be surreptitiously spirited out of London on the eve of war in September 1939 to stay at Ruddle, Major Moorland's country house near Ross-on-Wye in Hertfordshire. Ruddle would remain a Royal Hospital outstation for the duration of the war. So this officer gave up his house, or give up a part of his country estate. Kind of handy to have officers that have county estates. And that's an image of the pensioners at Ruddle. Looks nice enough. Although that bit of grass needs a trim. The evacuated infirmary patients were accompanied by a Royal Hospital nursing sister, whilst the bed-bound acute care patients remained in the Sloane Infirmary in Chelsea under care of the hospital's physician and surgeon. Here, during the winter of 1940-41, they faced the horrors of the London Blitz. During air raid alerts, it was impractical to move the bed-bound infirmary patients to the hospital shelters, and instead they remained on their wards. Royal Hospital nurses, however, refused to leave the acute wards, preferring instead to sit out the air raids alongside their patients in case they were needed. I'm going to read that again. Royal Hospital nurses, however, refused to leave the acute care wards, preferring instead to sit out the air raids alongside their patients in case they were needed. Feminism, this is how it's actually done. Consequently, sandbagged refuges were constructed under the Sloane Infirmary staircase, where nursing staff could take shelter once they had settled their in-pensioner patients. A first aid post was established in the basement beneath the west wing, and ward orderlies mounted fire watch patrols throughout the building during air raids. During the Blitz, the Sloane Infirmary experienced a number of near misses, the most notable during the raid on the night of 15-16 October 1940, when 3 bombs straddled the building. One bounced off the roof, sliding down a wall, leaving a deep gash in the brickwork, as shown in this remarkable photograph below. Fuck, there it is. That's the 10-ton Tessie. And that's the wall. And this is me going to the comments to make sure I haven't fucking muted myself. Anglo, I got an idea for you, mate. Start following Rangers. You like that. Trust me, it might break your heart. But yeah, watch some Rangers matches and see do you regain your love for football. And I will say that Emma and I love watching Northern Ireland play. It is, yeah. we have a nice party. Yep. Oh yeah. Yeah. Watch some of our matches, mate. Learn the songs. You'll love it. Oh fuck. Yep. Uh by the way, I know a lot more Rangers songs than the Rangers footballers. It's just how we were brought up. Probably love Celtic. I don't think he actually does. I don't think if you love Celtic, you could be about here that much. Right. So there's the scar. There's the 10-ton Tessie. Miraculously, all 3 bombs failed to explode, and the infirmary was safely evacuated at the height of the raid. The hospital's war diary describes the scene. Bombs were continuously being dropped in the neighbourhood, and the anti-aircraft barrage was heavy. There was a full moon, and a fire in Battersea lit up the roads, thereby facilitating movement. Yeah, so they were able to move by night because there was that much fire. Not great. But in other news, at Rorke's Drift had the hospital roof not been set on fire, it would have hampered the defenders, the British. It actually did them a favour. Apart from the couple of people that got trapped inside the hospital. Didn't do them any good at all. By April 1941, it appeared the worst of the Blitz was over. Hitler was planning an attack on the Soviet Union as the next stage of the War of Conquest, and incident reports record numerous consecutive days of no bombing throughout London. 1 second. Sorry about that. I need some liquid. Right. Yep. Hitler was planning an attack on the Soviet Union's next stage of the conquest, and incident reports record numerous consecutive days of no bombing throughout London's civil defence. Prior to its redeployment to a new Eastern Front, however, the Luftwaffe was planning one last devastating series of raids in a final attempt to force Churchill to the negotiating table. It was never going to happen. The first of these raids took place the night of Wednesday, 16th, 17th of April, 1941, and such was its duration and ferocity, it was forever simply known as the Wednesday. For the Royal Hospital, Chelsea, this would be the worst night of the war. Shortly before midnight, 2 parachute mines descended on either side of the east wing on the Sloane Infirmary. The detonation of the first immediately triggering the second, thus creating a single appalling explosion. The war diary describes the moment of detonation. There was an extremely heavy explosion without previous warning, evidently from a parachute mine. Clouds of dust filled the air. Debris fell within a 300-foot radius of the infirmary. The east wing was completely demolished, a large crater occupying the site. The remainder of the infirmary was badly damaged, the roof being removed. So also was the artificer's yard. Windows were broken all over the Royal Hospital. Yeah, anytime you get a bomb, you get broken windows. So that's just how it goes. A lot of Glazers in Belfast made their money. A lot of people think a lot of them bombs were simply to get the Glazers more work and more money. Yeah. 8 infirmary patients were killed and 5 nursing staff. whilst a further 3 inpensioners died later in casualty clearing hospitals. Yeah, survive all the war and get hit in your retirement hospital. That's not good. Amongst those killed by enemy action was Chelsea pensioner Henry August Rotary, 2 weeks short of his 101st birthday. Almost 50 infirmary patients were trapped in the wrecked building, and as rescuers converged on the scene, fires broke out throughout the ruined wards. Evacuation of trapped inpensioners was an imperative, and rescuers, with complete disregard for their own safety, displayed supreme bravery in rescuing the infirmary patients. 27-year-old nurse Hannah Disney, who was later gazetted for her actions during the night, helped rescue patients from 2 wards before she moved further into the wreckage of the burning building, where, finding the doors of a 3rd damaged ward blocked by fallen masonry, she entered it by climbing through a window, opening it, and set about moving debris from patients. Hannah Daisy's bravery saved the lives of countless trapped Chelsea pensioners during the course of that night. Again, feminists, this is how it's done. Oh, there she is. A total of 47 Chelsea pensioners were eventually rescued from the remains of Sloane Infirmary and dispatched to casualty clearing hospitals, including 33 stretcher cases. The blast of the East Wing imploded also several damaged Sloane's artificial yard, where on the outbreak of war, the Office of Works had constructed a surface air raid shelter for the use of wives and children of staff living on site. The night of the Wednesday, this shelter was packed, and it was now buried beneath tons of debris from the destroyed infirmary. Mercifully, the fact it was located in a small hollow in the ground meant that it was sheltered from the full force of the explosion and consequently remained intact. Fuck. Had that got damaged before the stuff fell on it, they would all have died. The occupants, although shaken, were otherwise unharmed. Good old Nissen shelters. Despite wartime news censorship, the bombing of the Sloane Infirmary was widely reported in the press, and a couple of weeks after the air raid, the BBC conducted one of its first ever outside broadcasts as a reporter interviewed survivors amongst the ruins. This publicity helped raise awareness of the plight of the Royal Hospital and its Chelsea pensioner residents, and the offers of help came flooded in, with the extended military family stepping forward as regiments offered to house pensioners in regimental training depots. Fuck me. It took them to nearly get killed, and someone to get killed before you just went, here, fuck, we have to move these people. Are you beginning to see a pattern here? They'll do fuck all before they absolutely have to. The Rothschild banking dynasty offered the use of Rothschild property, Ascot House in Buckinghamshire, as a replacement infirmary, and 80 patients subsequently took up residence. What I'm going to say about this is, you can't be a cunt 90% of the time and still do the odd good thing. So thank you for helping out these pensioners, but do not be thinking it's changed my opinion of you. As Anthony de Rothschild and his wife moved into an apartment above the estate stables. In the aftermath of the Wednesday, the Sloane Infirmary was reduced to a burnt-out ruin. In May 1942, however, the Commissioner of the Royal Hospital received a letter from F. Boltwood and Sons, with an accompanying note from the Office of Works outlining proposals for the demolition of the remaining structure. In the early months of 1942, the Allies were on the defensive everywhere and desperately needed to take the war to the enemy. The means to do so were the strategic bombing forces of the RAF and the United States of America Air Force, using bombers such as the iconic Lancaster and the B-17 Flying Fortress. These four-engine heavies, however, required concrete runways from which to operate, and consequently, a major aerodrome building program was undertaken using material from blitzed, damaged buildings, so they could reuse the concrete and stuff to pack and form the runways. Given the urgency of the moment, the commissioners agreed to the demolition of the infirmary ruins on the condition that any part of the structure or fittings that may be required for the future use of the Royal Hospital is retained intact. In the event, however, the immediate demands of the war were such that these conditions were ignored, and the remains of Sir John Sloane's infirmary at the Royal Hospital Chelsea were subsequently met an ignominious end as hardcore beneath the runway at the Second World War bomber base somewhere in southern England. There we go. That brings us to the end of that. Let's see where we are, and let's see the comments. Like, Carl Benjamin, UKIP got Carl Benjamin, and Patriotic Alternative got Count Dankula. Nah, here's the thing, UKIP went away, so Tommy then got Carl Benjamin. It's sort of how that worked. But he's still great friends with Count Mancula, who doesn't like Tommy Robinson or UKIP anymore. So it's all confused. Commander, I'm not sure if I said hello to you. Welcome aboard, chum. Glad to see you here. And thank you. 1 second, I'm looking through. Yeah, we are going to have a music break. What the? Nah. Let me see. I'm going to. Or Slim's in. Chris Grad, Tommy. Right. Here we go. We're going to try this. I know the poem. Tommy. One momento. Right, I'm not faint now. Lufer, one momento. GARD. Right. Here we go. We found it. We're sorted. Musical / poetry interlude. Promoted by, suggested by Lufer Sheffield. Again, another one I haven't heard before, but we're giving it a whirl because that's just how we're going to roll in it. Oh, and yeah, fuck it, you're going to get one of mine shortly as well. So there you go. But here we go.
I went into a public house to get a pint of beer. The publican he up and says we serve no red coat here. The girls behind the bar they laughed and giggled fit to die. I out into the street again and to myself says I, oh, Tommy this and Tommy that and Tommy go away. Gonna thank you, Mr. Atkins, when the band begins to play. When the band begins to play, my boys, the band begins to play. Oh, thank you, Mr. Atkins, when the band begins to play. I went into a theatre as sober as could be. They gave a drunk civilian room that hadn't had none for me. They sent me to the gallery around the music halls. But when it comes to fighting, Lord, they'll push me in the stalls. For it's Tommy this and Tommy that and Tommy wait outside. With a special train for acting when the troopers on the tide. When the troopers on the tide, my boy, the troopers on the tide. Oh, a special train for acting when the troopers on the tide. You're speaking of mock uniforms, the card you in your sleeve is cheaper than the uniforms, and by Christ they're cheap. And hustling drunken sailors when they're going large a bit is a muchly better business than parading in full kit. Then it's Tommy this and Tommy that and Tommy how's your soul? But it's secret line of heroes when the drums begin to roll. When the drums begin to roll, my boys, the drums begin to roll. Oh, I think the night of heroes when the drums begin to roll. We aren't nothing but heroes, well that much is true. But single men in power, it's remarkable like you. And if sometimes our conduct isn't all your fancy pains, why single men in power, it's don't grow into foster saints. Well, it's Tommy this and Tommy that and Tommy fall behind. But it's pleased to walk in front, so when there's trouble in the wine, well there's trouble in the wine, my boy, there's trouble in the wine. Oh, it's pleased to walk in front, so when there's trouble in the wine. You talk a better food for us, the schools and for all. We'll wait for extra ration if you treat us rational. Don't mess about the cookery stuff to prove it to our face. The widow's uniform is not the soldier man's disgrace. For it's Tommy this and Tommy that and chucking out the brute. But it's savior of his country when the kids begin to shoot. And it's Tommy this and Tommy that and anything you please. And Tommy ain't the blue and all you bet that Tommy sees.
That is class. Oh, hold on.
The paradigm of that.
Yeah. Yeah, that is class. Loafer, really good call. I like that. You'll be hearing that again here. Yes, that will indeed be heard again on this channel. Now. Yep. And it's still it's even on the theme, because the nice theme is the shitty way our veterans are treated, and how long the attempts to improve that has been going on. And with that, we're going to have a quick look at the Light Brigade Fund. Share screen. Right. Oh, no, it hasn't gone up on the screen yet. Ha. Yep. Really good call. Okay. The charge of the Light Brigade was a famous Dagobah. It was a cavalry charge at the Battle of Balaclava, October 25th, 1854, in the Crimean War, and it was a slaughter. The British cavalry, armed solely with sabres, was ordered either through poor communication or officer arrogance or incompetence or a little bit of everything. It was the fucking incompetence of the man to charge down a valley and attack Russian artillery. He says, yeah, go attack those guns. And he said, which guns? And he just sort of waved up the hill and sent them on the wrong fucking attack axis. The Russians had 20 infantry battalions, 50 large artillery pieces that they held on heights on both sides of the valley. So those poor light brigade guys had to race through the hail of cannon fire towards the hail of cannon fire, wielding nothing but their swords. Out of 673 cavalrymen, 118 died and 122 were wounded, and 335 horses killed. This is before mechanized war. Whenever we think about the level of attrition in World War I and how many men died on your average attack, you can see the difference that mechanized war and a machine gun made. Around 60 men were taken prisoner by Russians. Only 195 complete one man. Only 185 complete one man, one horse pairs were left, which obviously completely disabled their function as a cavalry brigade. Although it was a stupid waste of life and military failure, it gave the British cavalry a huge boost of respect and popularity. Alfred Lord Tennyson wrote a poem a few weeks after the battle, which sealed her reputation for the courage in the face of certain death, The Charge of the Light Brigade, which we talked a little bit about earlier. I'm not playing it, I'm not reading it, because Tennyson was indeed asked to do another one about what had happened to those men. He didn't do it. Kipling, as only Kipling would or could, took up that baton and wrote the fucking poem. Would become vernacular for futile bravery. Decades passed, in the May of 1890, Secretary of State for War Edward Sharper announced that the government would not grant any financial relief. Yet, because there was a attempt to push the government to provide something, and they went, no, we're not going to do that. They would not grant any financial relief to the destitute survivors of the Charge of the Light Brigade because it wouldn't be fair to single out one set of survivors, no matter how glorious their action, for benefits that no other veterans of their rank would receive. Got a radical idea. Give it to all the veterans, you fucking wankers. The cavalry charged down the Valley of Death, as Tennyson so memorably put it, was by then immortalized in the public imagination and the pinnacle of courage and valor, and so the neglect of these heroes, now old and infirm and poor, caused a scandal. In response, the St. James Gazette set up the Light Brigade Relief Fund so that the public could help support the veterans of their contributions to a regime, a national disgrace of the most odious description. The campaign was supported by contemporary alumni like Rudyard Kipling, who wrote The Last of the Light Brigade, which we heard earlier, as a sort of sequel to The Charge, in which the survivors reproached Tennyson for not writing a follow-up that would reveal how the country they fought so valiant for had abandoned them. Here's the kicker. The lawyer went to him and he went, nah, I'm not doing that. So Kipling made it fucking public and he still didn't do it. Also enlisted in the cause were three people closely associated with the Battle of Balaclava. Florence Nightingale, a pioneering nurse who made her bones, so to speak, tending to the wounded during the Crimean War. Lord Tennyson himself, the author of the poem that would ensure the immortality of the Charge of the Light Brigade, and Martin Leonard Lifford, trumpeter of the 17th Lancers, who sounded the actual charge. They would contribute with cutting-edge technology. Sound recordings of their voice would be played at public events to raise money for the relief fund. This was the first Do They Know It's Christmas ever made. Actually, no, because there was a genuine problem with this. Unlike the do they know it's Christmas thing, which there was no drought. Hate to break it to you, there was no fucking drought. There was communist takeover, put people off their land, and then they became starving. The United Nations built a camp that had free food, and it just kept attracting more and more and more people. And then they started making songs and turned it into business. It was Colonel George Edward Garnett, Civil War hero on the Union side, winner of the Congressional Medal of Honor for rallying the men under heavy enemy fire, and Edison's representatives in England, who recorded the three on wax cylinders. He had personally contributed £1,500, about £90,000 or $130,000 in today's spending power, to the Light Brigade Relief Fund, and then contributed his skills and Edison's invention, which he had only introduced to England 2 years before, to the cause. On May 15th, 1890, he recorded Alfred Lord Tennyson's reading The Charge of the Light Brigade, and on July 30th, he recorded Florence Nightingale's message to her dear old comrades of Balaclava at her home in 10 South Street, Park Lane, London. On August the 2nd, he recorded Martin Lanfleet sounding the charge on the very trumpet used at the battle. And he actually said that I am Martin Littlefield, and I will now play the bugle as I did at the beginning of the charge of the Light Brigade. As if that wasn't enough, the same bugle was also used at the Battle of Waterloo on June 18th, 1815, and remained in use until the 17 Lancers were merged with other regiments from the Queen's Royal Lancers in 1993. And this is another problem we have with our modern army, because all of our old regiments are getting shrunk, and with that goes the tradition. And it looks very much like they're getting us ready for individual replacement system, which is really not good. That's for another day. And now for the sounds of history. First is Alfred Tennyson reciting the first three stanzas of the Charge of the Light Brigade. And oh no, we're not doing that. Next is Florence Nightingale, introduced by Mary Helen Ferguson, who has one of those unfortunate talking doll voices, and I can't quite understand, but appears to be announced in the location and date of the recording. Florence speaks after her, far more pleasing tones. When I am no longer even a memory, just a name, I hope my voice may perpetuate the great work of my life. God bless my dear old comrades of Balaclava and bring them safe to shore. Florence Nightingale. Finally, here's Martin Littlefield, veteran of the Battle of Balaclava, who was wounded in the action and his horse killed underneath him, introducing himself and playing the charge. Colonel Gorgeous Edison Phonograph Company went through various iterations and wound up Edison Bell Limited, Hugh owner. The market for cylinders was dying, replaced by phonographic records, and by the early 1930s, it went bankrupt. Its assets, including a historic 1890 Light Brigade cylinder, were purchased by Howard Flynn. Flynn actually tried to sell a record of the Florence Nightingale recording, with all the royalties going to the Red Cross and other hospital charities, but it was a flop. In 1935, he donated the Nightingale cylinder to the Wellcome Historical Medical Museum. It was transformed into the Wellcome Library Trust, where it remained unnoticed until 2004, when Dr. Clark dug it up and brought it to the British Library for restoration. The relief fund successfully raised enough money to give grants to the neediest of soldiers, with 3,000 left over. The money was invested so it could help the greatest number of veterans. But in 1892, Parliament granted pensions to soldiers who had served 10 years or more, so the rest of the fund money was distributed on a sliding scale. So there you go. This predates what we were talking about earlier, and the formation of the Chelsea Hospital. So this came first, and the grants were distributed via the Chelsea Hospital. Oh, Mary Seacole. Yeah, she sold a lot more than tickets. Wasn't so much medical centre she run. It was more a herbalist, pub, and brothel. But yeah, give her credit for selling some tickets. Right. There we go. Now, where was I going next? Yes, to round up all of this, where we're currently at, we're bringing us to the present day. And here's where we're at. This is coming to you from the newsletter. Can I see what date this was published on? 25th of March 2026. So this is very, very up to date. This is where we're currently at, and I think the newsletter is going to fuck us about with advertisements, but we'll see. Fucking no, don't want to discover more. I want that fucking advertisement to piss off. Right. Oh, Royal Irish Regiment. Didn't realize this was on. Let's get. Ellsworth Castle, Northern Ireland, Royal Irish Regiment. Whoa! The Kipling band. Never can go past the parade. Sorry, people.
I used to worry about something happening to me. Now, with this clever watch from your stride.
Right. That can make sure I'm not still. No, I'm not muted. Good. Belfast Council has finally approved the Armed Forces Covenant, to the anger of nationalists who are predicted to launch a mission to undo the vote they branded undemocratic and underhanded. The Covenant, a set of pledges providing help for veterans struggling to adjust to civilian life, spent months bouncing about in the council between November 24 and June 2025 as unionists and nationalists warred over the issue. It was eventually thrown out by a majority of a single vote due to nationalist opposition. Last night, it came back before a council committee and was immediately adopted as policy, skipping the full debates on the issue. But furious nationalists predicted the move would be called in, a process that could see it return for another round of voting in an attempt to have the Covenant struck out once more. Brought by DUP Alderman James Lawyer, the Council's veteran champion, the move is meant to see the Council sign up to the Covenant right away. In practice, that's likely to be delayed by nationalists calling for a new policy. The Covenant was brought to the Council Standards and Business Committee, was assigned issues councillor, want debated to the correct committee or discussion. It also has the power to either reject those issues outright or skip debates and adopt the notice of a motion straight into policy. Last night, the Covenant was adopted on a combination of Democratic Unionist Party, Traditional Unionist Voice, and Alliance votes, infuriating nationalists. These fuckers in the Alliance living unionists are their politicians are sort of they're like the Liberal Democrats, basically. They're fucking they're progressive wankers. Nobody in the unionist community likes them, but they do tend to try to dip into here for votes. And I think they figured out that they had spent too much time pandering to nationalists and they would actually support this one. Speaking after the Armed Force Protections became official council policy by a majority of 10 votes in favour to 8 against, SDLP councillor Seamus Devorty complained that the committee's powers and breakdown of political party members have been used to try to force through a policy that has been voted down before at full council, something he branded ridiculous. Whenever you have a look at Sinn Féin's fucking antics and all of this, it's not at all. A vote by all 60 politicians in Belfast Council would, he argued, result in a different outcome to the poll taken by the committee, and the Covenant would have been defeated again, because fuck you. Stating he suspects this will be called in, Mr. Deval added, this is perhaps an undemocratic and underhanded way to try to get a policy agreed. Do you know what's undemocratic? Putting up fucking Irish street signs in streets where less than 15% of the population actually want it there. You send out the letters, you give them a question. Do you want an Irish street sign on your name? Irish street sign on your street? And the people go, yeah, no. And they go, yeah, fuck it, we're doing it anyway. That is undemocratic and underhanded. And yeah, deal with it, motherfucker. The committee's chair, Green councillor Anthony Flynn, said he agreed with the SDLP politician, because yes, the Greens will obviously agree with the SDLP. They're all on that same fucking loony left side. When we set up this committee, this type of thing we knew was going to happen or could happen through the standing orders that were created through the committee. He stated, that's the way it goes. Fuck. Imagine elected that wanker. SDLP councillor Seamus Devorty. Look at the fucking, oh yeah, it's just ugly. When Sinn Féin had wanted the Covenant thrown out altogether, not even sent to debate, the party's councillor Roland McCulkin told the meeting, it'll come as no surprise this has already come up to ourselves before, and we will not be agreeing to this. Alliance suggested taking the issue to full council for debate, but withdrew that in favour of supporting Mr. Lawyer's suggestion of a straight vote between adopting the Covenant as policy right away or throwing the issue out, which Mr. Lawyer won. Yeah, because the Alliance has spent too much time cozying up to the takes, and they can't afford to do it on this one. During last year's votes, the DUP, Democratic Unionist Party, Ulster Unionist Party, and Traditional Unionist Voice and Alliance were in favour of adopting the Covenant, while Sinn Féin, the SDLP, People Before Profit were against, and the Greens abstained. And the Greens abstained. That was the one vote it was put down by, because they decided to abstain. There you go. So, out of everything we have gained, we are no further fucking forward. And we are still fighting for rights for these men. And that's exactly where we're at. Now, when was this? Multiple. Holy shit. Multiple shots at White House. Half an hour ago. One memento, people. Uh-huh. One memento. Everything all looks to be exactly the fucking. So we're just going to go with the first one that was on the list. Sorry for moving away from.
This is Memorial Day weekend. Many people are out and about. Even with the rain, they're trying to explore DC. This is an area where we see a lot of tourists, so we really don't know the amount of people who were near where those gunshots were fired, but we do know that there were multiple gunshots fired just outside of the White House. As soon as we get more information, if we're able to talk to any law enforcement, any official out here, we'll be sure to share with you the latest information. But as of right now, this is really what the scene looks like on Pennsylvania Avenue. Sydney, I'm going to send it back to you.
Suspect shot.
Right.
And a bystander shot too, supposedly. Maybe that's where they're getting people reporting like a second person.
Let's see what's happening.
Ooh.
Yeah. I don't think we're going to actually get much value out of this.
That. I think when we got here, it was mainly towards the aftermath once from what we've been, just talking about.
What
it
this
seems
is.
Like law enforcement have been intervening just with any
I don't think we're going to actually get any news here, people.
Of what's happening, but there is no sense of, of alarm, I guess you could say, or just this sense of there's obviously a sense of concern of what's happening, but definitely just a lot of questions of what is going on. When you see this amount of law enforcement, that's what you're sort of getting, right? Questions of what happened. Is the situation under control? And I can tell you just from law enforcement being here, this is a good sign that we have Secret Service here on stand.
Look, I don't think we're going to get any actual news out of that. And the other thing that I will say is that anywhere you've got that amount of police milling about, you've got a reporter sitting there, they're no longer under sniper fire, or that would not look like that. So I think whatever it is has passed. What else was I going to do? Yep. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to let us all hear my latest poem. Be advised that this is not a finished, polished article. It fucking could have been. Although I wouldn't be choosing to do my drug dealing there. the problem is, what sort of a lunatic decides that the close to the White House is where you're going to have your fucking two-way rifle range. I suppose in the other answer of it, somebody will own very fucking lots and lots of drugs. So one never knows. Yeah, this is a wait and see here. And in the meantime, I'm beginning to realize that. I've seen a fucking news story today about a chief of police who was pimping out his wife to other soldiers or the other police officers. He's been arrested, his mother's been arrested. 100% it is. The thing about it is, that's how the government gets an assassin for free. Or how a group of people get an assassin for free. They make it seem like it's a good idea, and some lunatic somewhere will take that as a good idea and go ahead and do it. Now, what we're going to do next is we're going to have my new poem. This will indeed get improvements along the way. There will eventually be music and a tightened up video and whatnot, but for now, my latest poem, The Heartbeat of Ulster. It is agreed that Ulster has a heartbeat. How could it not? Ulster's essence exceeds geographical boundaries and evolves with nature. How could it not have a heartbeat? The question is the nature of that heartbeat. Some say it resides in two goats, kept apart by white oak and hoops, tightened by rope and hit with a mallet. Others defiantly declare, without the fife, the drum is just noise. They may have a point, however. It expands past fife and drum. What is missing, I hear you ask? Well, 30 snare drums playing in unison, backed by 2 bass drums and 40 flutes. Does not the blood transferred from the player's knuckles to the bass drum skin represent the living embodiment of the heartbeat of Ulster in blood and thunder? At this point, the melody flute bands quietly stand up. They point to a rule book and their intricate melodies. Stating this musically mirrors the sophisticated internal organ. However, nobody heard them because 30 yards behind was a blood and thunder band, and noise travels forward. Some will tell you it resides in the decorum, the common etiquette that dictates behavior, be that on parade, watching along the route, at the field, where we gather by thousands, or social events, in the workplace, or even at the corner shop. Some claim that the heartbeat of Ulster is in those millions of independent interactions. However, I will say they are all wrong. they have misunderstood the nature of the heartbeat of Ulster. Look ye at the boy drum majors and majorettes at this point. Those children with sticks, filled with joy at the front of their local band, who have already decided they want to do more than look on when their community celebrates. They want to be part of it and are indeed leading their small part of that celebration in preparation for when they will do that as adults leading the community. Look at those children, and I will show you the true heartbeat of Ulster. There you go. That is going to be improved. And will also, the writing of that will indeed feature in a video in the future project that I'm working on with this man right here. I'll do this publicly because this is the way to do it. You may or may not know, you probably don't know, Rich wrote a song about me, and it emphasized the poet bit, and I was like, yeah, I ain't really been writing enough poetry, and it reminded me what I do and why I love it and how it comes out. So, Rich, I will be forever in your debt, brother. Your song had more of an impact than you think. I'm really sorry that getting the video sorted is taking so long. However, there was issues to getting it right. there was issues to getting it right and figuring out what it needed to be, and we will indeed. It's progressing slowly, but oh yeah, 100%, brother. It'll be. It's going to be polished. It's going to be polished, Sean. Yeah, so sorry for the delay, and I'll keep you updated as things come along, but yeah, we're getting there. So there's that. Yep, thank you, Anglo, and yeah, well, actually, thank everybody for your kind words about my poetry. I do enjoy it. Now, what else was I going to do? One momento. Very quickly, I'm going to totally switch topic. I'm going to talk about something that is current. Tommy, Mr. Grand Old fucking Duke of York, Robinson, who will march everybody up the top of the hill and march them back down again every fucking year, without stating how or when he's going to actually try to make a stand. I've got a little bit more critique about that Unite the Kingdom rally, and it goes something like this. Yep, that's the one I want. Hold on. Yeah, turn that to that. Yep. Oh, 100%. 100%. Because he does this rally, and the idea is we're not racists, we're not bigots. We're just British people that love our country and love our culture and love what we're doing. And then we are presented with fucking this. Whatever the fuck this is. United the Grift. Yeah. What the fuck actually is this? And who going to this rally had this on their bingo card of what they were going to see? Because I honestly don't fucking think anyone of you did. Oh, and by the way, Mr. Dave Waffle, thank you very much. I'm using your stream. You can see Dave up there, and you can see his reaction to this as well. It's yeah.
Have you seen the Scotty interview when he turned up with the bacon?
What the fuck even is this? Yeah.
Let's get this place moving.
Yeah, and why the camera kept going that fucking blow up doll, I have no idea. Hold on. 1 second. That cameraman that kept on going on that fucking blow up doll. What the fuck? Oh yeah, I get that. I get Muslims don't eat bacon. I get Muslims don't eat bacon and don't like it, but this is supposed to be a patriotic day. Nothing says you are very pro-British like watching a fucking Asian man play a cello, do a random song with bacon on his shoulders. And the only reason why an Asian man gets on that stage to play a cello is because he puts bacon on his shoulders. He's turning your fucking movement into a fucking 3-ring circus. Or, yeah, I get they don't like it either, but, you know, yeah, what the fuck is this? What in the name of actual fuck is this?
Melody, have a nice day. So that, Terry.
Yeah, and these people are all looking a little bit confused, going, what the fuck's going on? I'm at a big crowd. It's supposed to be like a concert thing. I need to make it look like I'm enjoying a concert, but I'm really thinking, what the fuck is this? Oh, and I do like that Ulster flag in the background there.
I'm feeling sexy and free, like glitters raining on me. You're like a shot of pure gold. I think I'm about to explode.
Some coffee. I'll be back in a minute.
I can taste the tension.
Last string.
Yeah, more confused faces. Right, you've got the idea, people. Like, what the actual fuck is that? Yeah. Like, what does he think he's in? What does he think he's achieving? And who's he helping? By bringing on an Asian man to play a random song to the cello with bacon on his shoulders. Fucking very un-British. There's nothing British about that. Tommy Robinson talks a lot about the EDL and says, we have a culture in the EDL. No, you did fucking not. If you had any idea about culture, you were something totally different on that stage. What about getting some Mars dancers up there? What about getting some mummers up there? What about getting a strawberry up there? What about getting people up there to talk about their fucking history? What about people? What about the reenactors? Why not get them up? I'll tell you why. Because none of those people want anything to fucking do with you. Because they do not want to share a stage with people with bacon on their fucking shoulders. And not only is this not funny, not entertaining, it's going to limit who would potentially go next year. You're fucking nuts. This is never, ever, ever going to work. And this whole thing where he's not trying to unite the kingdom, he's just trying to where he's just he's also trying to incorporate Irish people from all different countries, French people, all that sort of stuff. Well, do you know what? The United Irishmen in 1798 did exactly that same thing. They united everybody together. until at Skulljug in County Wexford, they rounded up 200 Protestant men, women and children, put them in a barn, locked the doors and put the fucking thing on fire. And that has been the result of any effort that has ever been made to join forces with the people from down south. Tommy, learn your fucking history and actually try to do something a bit British and patriotic, please. The people that you've got coming to you deserve far better. I don't give a fuck that he's griffing for Israel. I give a fuck about the fact that he's bringing people on that stage. There's nothing patriotic about it. There's nothing good about it. There's nothing of value. Please, for fuck's sake. Oh, right. That little rant over. Tommy's less British than the England World Cup squad. Yeah. Yeah. Right. Right. With that, we have done 2 hours. I don't even think he's a nationalist. I think he's a socialist that doesn't like Muslims. Because only a socialist would organise their events the way he does with his fucking... yeah, they did. Like, I think he's a socialist because only a socialist would organise the events the way he does. I think if he does have any threat, it's via the Football Lads Alliance, and I'm not sure how connected he is to them, but I would say that the Football Lads Alliance do have the wherewithal to organise, because that's what they do, and could be a threat if they actually chose to be. Yeah. Yeah. He's definitely not. I'll tell you what he's not. He's not a patriot, because nobody proud of Britain would have put that shit on that stage. I'm sorry. Somebody playing a fucking cello with bacon on their shoulders. Fuck off. The idea is to set a standard and not go below that standard. You set a low barrier the year before and you manage to fucking go beneath it. It's fucking useless. Now with that, and my rant over, I'm going to play Harmony, Melody and Rhyme. And I'll put all your comments up, and that shall be the outro. You could. There's nothing wrong with loving your country, wanting to be fair to everybody and not be on an extreme. That's possible, but what you can't be is a socialist and a patriot. Those two things do not mix. He's worse than tacky. He's no fucking self-respect, mate. Oh yeah, mate, he's trying to win the internet. His country's at stake and he's trying to win the fucking internet. I was like, following, what about you, chum? It shall not be Green Door, it shall indeed be Harmony, Melody and Rhyme. Here we go.
This is 42 speaking. Welcome to the Resistance. You are not alone. and we shall walk this journey together. What about you, chum? If one brings a guitar and one brings a voice, then they stand together and make their own choice. Let us gather together those that can perform, and from the scarred timbers build our own platform. For from that grand house they tried to burn down, there's gold in the ashes if you look around. Let us gather together those that can perform, then from those scarred timbers build our own platform. Build our own platform. We will sing words of wisdom. We will sing for all time. Harmony, melody, and rhyme. We descended from minstrels in old days of yore. We will create a culture as we did once before, forced to stand by as our country was sold. Did you really think we'd leave that story untold? So one brings a guitar and one brings a voice, then they stand together and make their own choice. I have seen the future, the way forward is clear. Among us still stands a modern day Shakespeare. I have seen the future, the way forward is clear. Among us still stands a modern day Shakespeare. Forced to stand by as our country was sold. Did you really think we'd leave that story untold? We will sing words of wisdom. We will sing sing harmony, melody, rhyme. Harmony, melody, and rhyme. So one brings a guitar and one brings a voice, then they stand together and make their own choice. I have seen the future, the way forward is clear. Among us still stands a modern day Shakespeare. You cannot kill a dream. So we will gather together those that can perform, and from the scarred timbers build our own platform. You're talking the 42. What about you, chum? If one brings a guitar and one brings a voice, then they stand together and make their own choice. Sing words of wisdom, we will sing for all time. We will sing for our people, harmony, melody, and rhyme. We will sing words of wisdom, we will sing for all time. We will sing for our people with the ancient trilogy of harmony, You never realized you cannot kill a dream. You cannot kill a dream. And we shall walk this journey together.
Okay, everybody. I've been 42, and you lot in the chat have, as always, been fucking amazing. Good night. God bless. See you all next week. I'm out of here. Goodbye.